Hello.
Hello, welcome to one more episode of Two Men.
One cigar.
And today's topic is going to be a very important one. It's a thing that even me and David struggle a lot, even to this day. And it's a problem that we're going to have for the next few years. I'm 100% sure about it. This will never go away.
I don't think it's a thing that you either have or you don't have. Like you said, we still struggle with it. Does that mean that we're not where we want to be yet? Not really, because to win this thing doesn't mean to turn it off. It means to constantly have it on track, constantly knowing what's going on, and as soon as that kicks in, you just take back control every single time, faster and faster. Let me tell you this. The topic, of course, is I'm tired, I'm lazy, what do I do? So everybody has that. Now, what you can control is what happens once you have it, what happens once you have these feelings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes absolutely sense. And when I said that, even we struggle with that problem every day, meaning that we are constantly tired. We are always too tired to film a podcast, we're always too tired to talk with clients, we're always too tired to wake up and stand up from our beds.
Yeah, and so many times, I don't know how you can do that, but like, he is always very high energy, so this podcast, maybe you are going to be the teacher more, because I'm still learning from the master, which in this case is you. He's always high energy, and I thought, maybe it's just part of him. Like, maybe he's just born with that. And so today I asked him, look, but when you wake up, are you tired? Because every day when I wake up, I don't want to wake up. I'm very tired. And I don't know, I just don't want to. And so I don't want it to an extent that it's like, why am I even waking up? Like, is that life actually interesting? So teach me.
First of all, I don't think that I am the one to speak to about how you can be high energy all the time. But it would be more interesting if you would say your experience of what you feel on an everyday basis, because you go through the same thing that many people out there watching this podcast will go through.
Yeah. So this is how you feel. Like, it's just a cycle that you have, You wake up and you just don't want to do stuff. Sometimes you just don't want to do anything. And in some moments it feels like, I don't know, everything is boring. You don't want to do anything. In other moments, it's those moments that stuff is cool, As soon as I wake up, my energy is so low, I would never imagine myself even getting to this struggle of sitting down, preparing this wonderful setup, and doing this wonderful podcast. But then in a moment like this, you're kind of in the flow and everything is different. Now, it would be a shame for me to not do it just because I'm lazy, and that would be stupid for me to stop. So it's just about a constant change of the feelings and emotions that you have throughout the day, during which you just have to perform regardless. And you will have moments where you're high energy, moments where you're sort of like you don't want to do things. And I think it's just about the successful people are just the ones that can endure most of these times. And yes, perform when they're not tired, but also perform when they are. And that's when the difference is.
And one more thing that personally helped me as George to learn how to push myself when I'm tired is the gym. As cliche as it sounds, the gym has taught me many of the things I know and has transformed me to what I am right now and the mindset I have. It's okay, I don't want to say that I have the best mindset in the world, obviously. Many times I catch myself being weak. But I've learned how to control my feelings many times and how to perform regardless. And many times I wake up and I don't want to go to the gym, I feel too tired. Or maybe I don't feel like going to the gym, or maybe I feel like if I will go to the gym, I won't perform as I want to perform. And I just learned how to do it anyway. Why? Because I just had a program which I had to do anyway. And the same goes with martial arts, because your opponent are not going to care if you are actually tired or not. So the same thing goes not only with the gym, but with the martial arts as well. You need to perform regardless of how you feel. As cliche as it sounds, that's how things go. That's life. That's how you become successful. That's how you overcome obstacles. You learn that if you get into the ring and you feel tired, your opponent's literally not going to give a fuck about you. He's going to punch you in the face anyway, no matter how you feel.
Yeah, that's a very good point that you're making, and I think it's important to highlight the importance of it. Boxing is a very, very good example in this case to explain the following thing. Let's say I'm tired. What do? I would reply in 2 words: you work. But now people might not want to work anyway because they don't see the price of it. They're like, well, I'm tired. I don't work. I don't have the urgency of it. Because I can do it later or stuff like that. Boxing is the perfect example that explains to you in a fast time frame what you realize in life in a long time frame. People don't see the price of inaction. People don't see what they're paying when they're not doing the things they're supposed to be doing. Because they just see nothing, right? I have to do this, I don't do it. What changes? Literally nothing in the short term. You're not really going to notice if I do this thing or not. You don't really see the instant feedback. In boxing, you do. If you don't do what you're supposed to do and you're tired, you put your guard down, instant feedback, hook to the face, and you're dead. And this connects very well with the idea of being balanced or not being balanced. What I mean by that is if you are trying to be balanced and at the same time succeed, you are not taking into consideration the price of inaction. When you're trying to be balanced and in the moments that you, in a balanced way, rest, somebody else is taking action and he is going ahead of you. Now, the thing is, this is harsh, but you don't make the rules of the game. And you can pretend to be playing in a fake game where you can work in a balanced way, but the thing is, you don't choose how hard the game is. The game of life is not chosen by you. If other people are working harder, you either get to their level or you just fail. There's no such thing as being balanced in your own way because you don't choose. If you want to get the rewards that the game is giving you, you need to play with their own rules.
And that's actually 100% true. And one thing that actually made me realize is that when I was preparing for a fight with my coach, when I was training during that preparation, the only thing that was going through my mind during the session was that while I'm training now, the opponent that I'm going to fight in 8, 10, 12 weeks is also training. So I need to outwork that guy, and if I don't work out one day, he will. And then he will very simply beat me.
Yeah. And so, let's answer this question. I'm tired, what do I do?
Depends, because I don't want to say work regardless or don't care about your emotions or do it anyway, even though you have to do it anyway. But I think that sometimes if you are actually tired, because I think that being tired and being lazy are 2 completely different things. Right now, if my body is tired, I can feel it that my body is tired, and although I'm not lazy, it's just that I'm tired. In that case, I will just rest, it's okay. But I think that the problem with most of you is that you are lazy and you convince yourself that you are tired. So the real question is not I'm tired, what should I do? Rather than I'm lazy, what should I do?
Yeah, that's a good point because you mentioned about the real being tired. Being tired is actually a thing that exists. Now, the thing is that 99.9% of people will never even get to that point. So we can talk about that one exception, but that's one exception out of 10,000, 100,000 moments and people. So it doesn't really make sense. And probably if you're watching this video, the problem is another one. And so many times I've thought that I was physically tired, that I was actually tired and I could deserve rest, and I was completely wrong. So you have no idea how high the bar of I'm actually tired is. And the moment that you will actually have it, you will not even have to think about it because you will know the answer by yourself. You will not be having to go on YouTube to look for I'm tired, what do I have to do? Because that's just probably a laziness problem, like you said. Like if you are actually tired, you know that. There is no way that you're not 100% sure that you need to rest. And if you're not even 100% sure, then you don't need to rest.
So yeah, you more so need to fight your laziness rather than your tiredness. So if you are lazy, what should you do? Anything. literally anything, no matter what it is. Even if you do the most simple task, I've seen that myself, that when I do very simple tasks, even when I'm tired, after a certain point I get that euphoria, that feeling, okay, I complete this task, I feel that momentum thing. And one thing brings another, from starting from a small task, I just move on to the next one. And it's actually something I've used in the gym in the past, because let's say that I want to get a set and I have to do 20 reps. If I will say before the set that, okay, how am I going to do 20 reps? It's too much, 20 reps with that weight, am I even going to fail at 15, 17? So what I used to say to myself in that case, that okay, let's not do 20 reps, let's do 5. And as soon as I did the 5 reps, I was building momentum, and I did the other 5, and I was at 10. Then when I reached the 10 reps, I was like, okay, 10 are easy, let's do another 5. Then I reached 15, and after the 15, just another 5 and it's done, 20 reps. So you need to focus on smaller tasks. It will help you build momentum, it will make it easier for you to start, because in your mind say, okay, I don't have to run 10 kilometers, just have to run for 2. You run for 2, you say, okay, running 2 was easy, it was literally nothing, let's run another 2. You run another 2, you reach at 4 kilometers. And then you very simply build momentum, and you don't even realize when you reach the 20 kilometer.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing, because as humans, to succeed, we need to think in a long-sighted perspective. Yet, as humans, we are sort of meant to think in a short-sighted perspective, because we think about yearly goals and all of that. But then, like I said, when I wake up, I don't even want to get out of my bed. So we are always short-oriented, short-sighted. And so how do we act based on this? Well, we take the long-sighted goal and we make it break down in short-sighted goals. For example, I'm tired, like you said, I don't want to do like 20 reps that I should be doing, just do 5, and then when you do 5, you do 5 more. And because it's very hard to look all the way through. It's like that seeing the light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. Many humans don't see it, and it's just too far away from you to understand it, that it's worth going all the way to see the light, because it's just too long, you will never understand it. So you need to break down into smaller goals and into smaller tasks that even in a lazy way you can make. Now, another thing I wanted to ask or talk about in general. Laziness. Is that a bad thing in and of itself? What do you think?
No, feeling lazy is not a bad thing. I feel lazy myself many times. But acting on that feeling is a bad thing. Because many times, okay, bad thing, we are not machines, we are humans, so we are going to have emotions. So I don't want to say that it's bad to have emotions or to feel lazy, because that practically wouldn't be realistic. But what is realistic is to not be lazy when you feel like being lazy. And as David mentioned before, you just focus on doing simple tasks. Okay, you are lying in bed, it's 8 a.m, I'm too tired to wake up, what should I do? Just stand up, focus on the first thing. It's easy to stand up. When you stand up, okay, what's the next thing I should do? Go grab a coffee. You go grab a coffee, you wake up, you feel like doing something. And then you just build, random example, you just build momentum and you start doing things.
Yeah, I remember there was a period where I was really struggling to wake up. I just told myself, look, let's do this. Actually, I will let you sleep as much as you want. Just one thing you have to do for me. When you wake up and the alarm rings, you have to do one single thing. Go grab a coffee, drink it, and then you can do whatever you want. Now, if you drink a coffee, it's almost impossible that you actually want to go back to sleep, because you will have caffeine in you and you will have done the steps to go to the coffee machine, and you will just have waken up, seen the light, and you will probably not even want to do that anymore. So just promise yourself to do one thing. Go brush your teeth. Go do one thing. And then if you want to go back to sleep, do it. Because that's what I actually want to get to. Laziness itself, I think, is inevitable, and it's part of being a human, and it's actually a thing that allowed us to survive over time. So therefore, you need to apply the laziness at your advantage. The laziness that doesn't want you get out of bed is the same laziness that you have after you brush your teeth and you don't want to get to bed anymore. Well, why would I get to bed? I'm already doing something else. I start working. Why would I stop working? I'm already doing the first task. Let's finish them all. I'm so lazy. And so laziness, I think when I said it makes us survive, why? Well, if you think about it on an evolutionary perspective, laziness allows you to store your energy. If we were not lazy, we would just use all the energy and, let's say in the past, how many times in the history we grew up in times where it was very hard to get food, very hard to get water, and all of that. So laziness is sort of a survival instinct, I believe. I'm not a scientist, but this is, I think, easy logic. And you can use it at your advantage. For the example that I just said about brushing your teeth, but even many more things. Let me tell you some things that make me lazy and that are actually helping me. I'm so lazy that I just don't want to fucking be the one cleaning my future house. I really need to get that rich that I can hire a hot cleaning lady to come clean my house every single day. To come make my bed every single day. I'm so lazy that I don't want to be like those average people that every time they have to go to vacation, they need to sit there to plan their whole travel and go to booking.com and then go to another thing to find the cheapest plane ticket, the cheapest hotel. I don't want to do that. I just want to go there, take the first thing that is there. I don't care. It's just too boring for me to plan the whole thing. I'm so lazy that I don't want to take a plane ticket actually. I want to fly on a private jet. I'm just too lazy to go, wait, skip and do the line and do all of that. No. I just want to fly by myself, man. So all of these things, So laziness is good, but you need to use it properly. So the same force that is not letting you do the things that you have to do, you can apply it to not let you stop doing the things that you're doing well. And that's why momentum is such an important thing. I have never skipped a gym workout in the last, 3 years. And why the fuck would I be that lazy to skip it once and just lose all this momentum? Like, it's just so stupid. Because I'm just so lazy that I don't want to break that momentum. Why would I? Does that make sense?
Yep, makes absolutely sense. And it's a feeling, as David said, that you can use to your advantage. But you need to be able to control your mind in order to do that. And it's not one thing you learn to do from one day to another, but it's sort of a thing that you train yourself into it. By taking everyday actions, by doing everyday simple tasks, by gaining momentum, and one thing brings another. It's literally that simple.
So let's say I'm a random person, I'm very lazy throughout my day. How do I actually do the thing that we just said? How do I actually use laziness at my advantage instead of having that as my biggest opponent?
The best way to use this example I mentioned before. So let's say that I want to send emails and I have to send 100 emails per day. Instead of saying myself, okay, I'm going to send 100 emails, I'm going to send 20 emails. And when you send the 20, you said, okay, it was very easy to send 20, you send another 20. So you use your laziness from the beginning by saying that, okay, I'm not going to do X, I'm going to do minus X.
What's more, habits defeat laziness. The same thing for the gym. If I'm used to brushing my teeth, I don't need to have too much energy to do that because I'm just so used to it that I will never be too lazy to brush my teeth. I'm not even thinking about whether I want to work one day or not because it's just I'm working every day. Like I know that this is a habit.